So yesterday, when I had the other technical problems, we had our dear friend Greg Kelly, who is as miserable as Greg Gutfeld is unfunny. And we got through part of it, but because of technical issues, we didn't get into the crux of the entire argument. Now, this is when he had just gotten the affidavit, or the search and seizure warrant and the list of items. Another day, another Trump witch hunt. Hoax number 101,762. By the way, something he stole from my Twitter feed. And then this whole thing, like Trump looking all tough, and FBI. These are FBI agents in hard hats. This is with their FBI jackets. They're behind the graphic over here. They did not show up wearing fucking hard hats and FBI jackets. That's literally first responders. That they're the bad guys. Apparently, they're all lining up to blow Donald Trump. And over here, behind the Department of Justice, is Merrick Garland and Chris Wray in, I guess that's Mar-a-Lago in the background, or the Coliseum. Let him die. Is the Dom DeLuise? Anybody? Okay, here we go. So this was his point, was Greg Kelly, all the proof you need is right here. Greg Kelly reports Greg Kelly. On the Greg Kelly show at gregkelly.org. Here, okay, this is, guys, you don't need, Trump is innocent, and Greg can prove it.
And by putting it in writing like this is a sinister document.
It's a sinister document. It's evil. It smells like sulfur.
Written by
a left-handed person.
Sinister men.
Sinister men. Well, I mean, if you want a job done right, you pick the right people, I guess.
With very diabolical goals.
Excuse me. Sinister and diabolical are very different. Sinister is simply off from the norms of society in a dark way, and diabolical is literally for the benefit of Diablo. You can't use these things willy-nilly.
Now, they've worked themselves up into a frenzy.
Yes, you seem comparatively calm, though.
Some of them believe it. Some of them believe that.
Yes. Hold on. Why is this? Playback speed, quality, auto. Is there 720? Yeah, there you go. Jesus Christ.
Donald Trump is a monster.
What's with the blattum every time? Every time he goes, Donald Trump's a monster. Does that make you more likely to want to lick his rectum?
He's not, but
nobody believes me. I'm just Greg Kelly, okay? Blattum.
They believe the fake news. They believe the rhetoric. It's fun. That's the way they pass the time. Who knows?
Yeah, it's a hobby. Yeah, believing the mainstream media about Donald Trump. It beats putting ships in boats, buddy.
Knows. But I can prove to you, actually, that this latest stuff about the classified documents in Mar-a-Lago and the president, it's not true.
It's not true. It's not true. Good. Well, that'll clear it up. All this. I know I'll breathe a sigh of relief, not having to worry that there are nuclear documents or top secret documents that have been accessed by foreign agents at Mar-a-Lago. I'll feel, please prove us all wrong so we can all go back to just enjoying all of Biden's victories.
We can prove it right now.
Right now. Let's get it out of the way.
It's easy.
It's easy. It's what.
Take a look.
I'm going to look because it's easy.
January 20th.
January 20th. That's right. Yes. Here it is. Yes, I remember this day very well.
2021. He's leaving the White House for the...
Yes, I know. I masturbated the entire time. I didn't even have to see the video till later. I knew it was happening. I was listening to it on the radio.
The last time as president. I think he'll be back as president, but...
Yeah, it's not, but that's okay.
Notice anything?
Yes, I think that's Melania number 4. Also, he's unemployed, I think is the word. Yeah.
He's not carrying anything.
That's true. He's making Melania carry her own bag like a fucking asshole. All the proof you need. He's a lonely man. He's a lonely man there on the golf course. What he's waiting for, I don't know. But he waits every day now. We all just told him to go Go.
All right? He has no documents with him.
Right?
All right, Melania has a purse. Do you think they're in there? Now, they're talking about dozens of boxes, right?
Yes. Yes, that's true.
He doesn't have anything.
Yeah, it's... What is this? Fucking the Bill Murray movie Quick Change? I got a great idea. When we rob the bank, what we do is we take the money out and we throw it in a garbage can, and then we walk away. Nobody busts somebody just walking along. And then later on, Charlie works for the garbage. He's a garbage man. He's got the whole route. He'll pick up all those garbage cans, and then we'll get the money out as long as he doesn't forget. Don't use the compactor this time.
Folks, this is actually relevant.
No, it's fucking not.
The fake news, the lawyers will say, oh, no, you're simplifying it. No, this is important.
No, they're not saying you're simplifying it. They're calling you a simpleton, Greg. You're getting confused, and it's not surprising.
And when he gets off of Marine One at Andrews Air Force Base.
Yeah, after he no longer has access to it. Yes, I enjoyed that part as well.
Does he have anything? Did he take paperwork? Was it waiting for him? No, he did.
Well, you almost stumbled on it there. Was it waiting for him? Yeah, it's in the trucks that are going down that will get into the plane and that will fly down to Mar-a-Lago.
He did not pack this material himself.
I'm sorry, I only see footage of him leaving the building. If this is this is supposedly all the proof I will need proof. I will need video just like this of him during the packing process, not directing any of it, not taking anything out of a drawer, not putting anything in a box, not talking to Kash Patel and Christopher Miller about getting stuff and putting it in boxes. I'm going to need to see footage of all that with audio, by the way.
And when he gets on Air Force One after a short speech to supporters,
well, to his crying children,
again, he has nothing in his possession.
No, just the contents of all of their things that have been loaded onto Air Force One.
Every step of the way, he's monitored. He did not.
He's monitored. What the fuck? First of all, I'll play with you because Greg actually thinks Trump is 6'3" and not obese. So I'm going to go with then he's wearing them in a belt around his waist. They're under his waistcoat, fucko. That whole jacket, he's 100 pounds lighter. Ronnie Jackson is a saint, and he called it. And Trump is actually, he's skinnier than Melania. This jacket is holding all these things. He snuck them out himself.
Take this material to Mar-a-Lago. He didn't.
Who did then? Did the FBI sneak in 27 boxes worth of classified shit the day he landed?
Look, does that sound plausible and reasonable?
No. Your argument? No, it sounds fucking stupid. This is so far, congratulations, Greg Kelly. This is the single dumbest take on all of this. I've heard a lot of people, right, exactly, Beck. I've heard a lot of people try to cover for him, and so far Jesse Waters had the record, but this is the dumbest fucking thing anyone has said about this. This is it. This is number one. Tops. Greg Kelly, you are the single dumbest motherfucker in this whole affair of everyone. This is it's moron. It's this is some goofy shit. None of this makes any fucking sense. Nobody knows what the fuck you're talking about, Greg. This is not indicative of anything. It's hard to even know how to respond to this other than just giving you the finger. This is fucking stupid. Do
you want to go with me?
No, I don't. Ever. Not anywhere. Not on a bus. Not while I cuss. Not on a train. Not in a plane. I do not like you, Greg Kelly. I do not like you. You're dumb and smelly.
Or do you want to go with this guy?
Some of those documents were marked top secret,
That's true.
sensitive, compartmented information.
That's true.
That is among the highest designation in terms of the extremely.
Well, all right. First of all, Greg is laughing. So far, there's not even any opinion from Schiff yet. I mean, I would like at least go back to some footage of Schiff talking shit.
Again, this guy has the nerve to show his face in public.
He's an elected representative, dummy. And by the way, for the record, that's what I think every time you come out with another episode. Again, this guy, this Greg Kelly fella has the nerve to show his face in public.
After all of the lies, after being so wrong for...
Hey, stupid. It's your show. Stop playing the audio. You're shouting down your own clip.
So long, they go to
There
him
you go.
again.
His staff did it.
And they never point out, excuse me, but everything you told us about the Russia probe turned out to be wrong.
No, it didn't. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Read the Mueller report, you lazy fuck.
No.
No, I know you won't.
It's just right back to where we started from.
No, this is a whole new fucking crime, dummy. That's what's crazy about this. After the first impeachment, Trump thought he had beaten the system. And so he called up Zelensky and said, listen, fucko, my buddy Rudy Giuliani's going to come down with the details. But what you're going to do for me if you want those Stinger missiles is you're going to do a press conference talking about how you've opened up an investigation into Joe Biden and Hunter Biden in your fucking country. And you're going to do that for me or you're not getting your Stinger missile money. And therefore, the Russians are going to kill your citizens. P.S. I hang out with Putin all the time, and I can't wait to give that guy a leg up in your fucking country. That was a whole new crime. That had nothing to do with Russia. The impeachment, the second impeachment was like an unforced, brand new fucking error from Donald Trump. And so was this. This has zero relations. If any politician who left the White House could be guilty of this without any other fucking crimes. This has nothing to do with Russia. Unless Greg Kelly assumes, like I think a lot of people do, that that's one of the groups Trump is getting money from to let them have a look at the shit. This is wholly new. This is not, well, we're still grinding on the Alpha Bank connection. We still want to know the background of the Deutsche Bank loans. I still think reasonable. But that isn't related to this. Donald Trump started this shit on his own. None of this had to happen. All of this is Donald Trump's fucking fault. Adam Schiff talking about the consequences of this prick taking stuff is what Adam Schiff's supposed to fucking do. As the chairman of the Intel Committee, I'm fairly sure he's chairman or co-chairman. And as one of the senior ranking Democrats, this is part of his job is to make sure shit like this doesn't get in the wind. Oversight. Good fucking Lord.
How about this guy? The zombie, I like to call him.
Why?
Looting. This is what Trump derangement syndrome will do to you, by the way. That's what he looks like now after Trump derangement syndrome. Before Trump derangement, he looked perfectly fine.
There's no way that dude aged that many years in 4 years unless he was shown he literally went through A Christmas Carol alone.
And now he even talks weird.
He even talks weird. Speaks weird? Speaks, I think. All right.
Donald Trump and his allies and supporters are a clear and present danger to American democracy.
Thanks.
For the record, that was Greg Kelly making those noises.
You see how crazy it is?
Yeah. He had a stroke? Well, there you go. Man had is that true? Hold on. Let me, confirmation needed. Hold on. Whoops. This would be the, yes, okay. There you go. This is for Greg. And thanks for bringing this up, chat room. Retired Judge Ledig explains slow and methodical speech during Jan 6 hearing. Greg Jacob Left, former counsel to former Vice President Mike Pence, and Judge J. Michael Ledig, a former appeals judge, testified during a hearing by the House Select Committee. Retired Judge J. Michael Ledig has responded to social media speculation about his slow speaking style during the testimony before the House Select Committee investigating the Jan 6 Capitol riot. I believe I had an obligation to the Select Committee and to the country first to formulate, then to measure, and then to meter out every single word that I spoke carefully, exactingly, and deliberately, so that the words I spoke were pristine, clear, and would be heard, and therefore understood as such. Ledig, a conservative former judge on the 4th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals at Richmond, Virginia, has testified on January 6th there was a war for America's democracy that was irresponsibly instigated by former President Donald Trump, his allies, and supporters. His prepared remarks are here. NPR has the coverage here. An opinion column from the Washington Post described Ledig's testimony as slow and methodical. There was speculation that he was in poor health or a stroke survivor, according to Focus. Joe Hogan, a writer for Vanity Fair, said in June 16th Twitter thread, Ledig treats every line of his testimony like he's engraving it on a national monument, and frankly, he really is engraving it for history, and he seems to know it. He's speaking to history, not TV. And yeah, so he speaks in the exact opposite way that Greg Kelly does. Ledig is speaking for history as if his words will be entered into record and meaningful in the future. And Greg is basically vomiting out toilet paper and fast food wrappers for a living.
Right? I, as a supporter, if you're a supporter, you're a clear and present danger to American democracy.
Yeah, but there's degrees of danger. Nobody takes you seriously as a danger, Greg. I mean, you're laughable as a threat. Honest to God. There are middle management, there are assistant managers at Taco Bell's next to public libraries that have more overt testosterone than you do.
By clear and present danger, we talked about this last week, they can go to extraordinary means. They can shut down half the Constitution to take us out. Yeah,
that's what it is. FEMA camps. Yeah, that's what they're planning on doing. And also, Greg, I don't think he is talking to you. I don't think you qualify as a supporter, buddy. You're not a supporter. All you do is yammer. If you really were a supporter, you'd show up. You'd be out. You'd be in a boat parade in the waters off Mar-a-Lago right now, showing that you care. You'd be driving your fishing boat over manatees' backs because the weight of the boat is being pushed down by you, 3 of your fat fucking friends, and a bunch of Trump flags.
This is crazy stuff. They are the threat.
All right, so anything is justified. I'm not a threat. You're a threat. This is what grown-ups do. Shit, where are we? Hold on.
The director of our precious document supporter, you're a clear and present danger to American democracy. They can shut down half the Constitution. Are the threat. This kind of rhetoric undermines democracy. Now, back to the bureaucracy, all right? That guy's a part of so many people there. I think this is a small example of just how bad the system is. The National Archives, you've heard of them, right? That's where we...
Yes, I'm aware.
We keep all of our precious documents.
The government is full of bureaucracy. Yeah, they got a bunch of bureaus in there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, drawers.
Documents. And I do mean precious, the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence. You can go inside.
Yeah, apparently you can go inside and take them back to Mar-a-Lago and leave them in a fucking broom closet with no lock on the door, according to Donald Trump, because if he even took them, if he asked to see them and then took them out of the Oval Office, they are officially declassified documents. He can take them wherever the fuck he wants.
And see these things, but they retain a lot more than those items. Just about everything that's written by every president goes into some sort of storage unit at some point or another. All right.
Right.
So these archivists are partisan people. They're bureaucrats. Early on in Trump's administration, they were making fun of him.
Well, I mean, you don't have to be partisan to do that. He's hilarious. I mean, the Republicans were making fun of him early on.
On Twitter. Career bureaucrats. Look at this. Fun fact, President Nixon never fired the director of the FBI.
Why would that be a direct slam? Huh. Why would Trump take that personally? They're just posting fun facts, Greg.
Now, what are they doing? They did.
Yeah, obviously they're trying to rehab the image of Richard Nixon, and I won't have it.
That when Trump fired Comey, President Trump fired Comey, they didn't like it. The swamp. These are, again, bureaucrats, federal employees who felt emboldened to go to Twitter and make fun of the commander-in-chief.
Huh. You do realize it's legally fine in the United States. Also, that's not a direct mocking of him unless you take it personally. Secondly, Trump's followers felt emboldened to build a fucking gallows on the Capitol grounds, you clown.
Because the swamp, they were working against him. Now, officially, they had to chide these employees. They had to. It was a minor story at the time.
Very.
Still
is.
Government agency, the National Archives, does not condone or engage in partisan or political conversations. A tweet from Tuesday, May 9th, that was not representative of the policies of the library or National Archives.
Sounds very bureaucratic. It sounds like they went and cleaned up a mess.
Sure about that, pal? Next, the National Archives is examining the training provided to employees who post to social media, blah, 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 retraining everybody. If you made fun of your boss, and they did not fire you, they retrained you. Who could do that publicly on Twitter?
Almost everyone right now. Especially if it was something like that, which was not a direct attack.
Well, people in the swamp.
That's right. Only deep state government employees.
Archives are behind all of this. They may have had a role, either in planting documents. Who knows? It's
excuse you?
possible.
No, it's not. Fuck you.
They did not like him. I think this is proof of that. Take a look at this. It's an agency you probably have never heard of, but they're very important. The General Services Administration.
Very important.
It's essentially like
they're a general services administration. They administer the general services generally.
Physical plant of the federal government. It's a huge,
so they're in charge of planting documents. I understand.
Huge agency
to grow document trees.
Huge budget, and they would have been responsible for
how turgid the Washington Monument looks. Hello, Jane.
Moving the president's material goods to Mar-a-Lago, all right? They are actually the movers for the government. They would have contracted, they would have been involved in moving the
Moving is messy. Moving it is. Well, look at that. That is true. You know, I thought about that. They say that some things are there's so many things that are, stressful. There's like a list of the worst, most stressful things. Losing your job, losing your house, moving, and of course being married to one of 5 fembots. Those are like the top 3 things that people find stressful. I find all of those stressful. I do.
President down south. What did they do? Were
they brought in boxes?
They as resentful and spiteful as the National Archives? Or
yes. So the idea is that these people hated Trump so much they took national security secrets and hid them in the boxes like a time bomb, hoping, praying that he would mishandle them and they would get into the hands of terrorists or a foreign entity and American agents would be killed just so they could own Trump.
People at the Pentagon?
That makes sense.
Or the Treasury Department, or basically everywhere in the swamp, because they're loyal to the swamp. They're loyal.
Yes, of course, you have to be. Swamp creatures have to be loyal to the swamp. Don't you watch Little Abner?
To their jobs, not to the people. Yeah, I think we have to take a good look at them and what they may have been up to.
Yeah, I think they probably planted these things by making him think he wanted them through hypnosis in the last few days. I think they may have put something in the air around him that may have convinced him. Go get those classified documents, put them in that box right there. Shh. Cash. Yes, master. And get those 2 bound books of satellite images too, that we may or may not be able to judge, the tactical awareness and security state of our allies, and where we might buy some beachfront property in a couple of years. Also, get my passports.
So, we've heard this song before, haven't we?
The home of the 45th president of the United States has been raided.
No, we have not heard that before.
By the FBI.
We're continuing to track breaking news. A judge has unsealed the search warrant used to search Mar-a-Lago, showing the FBI took 11.
Yes, these are all things that we're all hearing for the first time.
Sets of classified documents.
Chilling breaking news about the FBI's search of Mar-a-Lago.
There you go. So we love Stephanie Rule. Search, not raid.
The Washington Post reporting agents were looking for nuclear documents.
Tonight, we start with that breaking news. Our first look at the search warrant used to seize those highly classified documents.
Former President Trump is saying on his own social media platform that
all right, good times, right?
All right. This is my new favorite Greg Kelly habit, is that he can't even bring himself to listen to the entirety of the montage his people put together. He has to yell and interrupt them. It's nice. But yeah, again, I pause these things. I don't just yammer over the top of the fucking dude.
Stream media.
Can someone please give him a button?
Yeah. Feels like the Russia probe. Even sounds like the Russia probe.
That's because you have shit in your ears.
Trump is good for business, and they can't quit him.
Are you kidding me?
Breaking news in the Russia investigation dominates the program tonight and reaches directly into the president's inner circle.
We are covering the breaking news that Bob Mueller...
All right. Is he going to yell in the middle of this one, too?
The special counsel...
Yes, we know you guys can fill time with montages, Greg.
Investigating ties between Donald Trump's campaign and Russia.
We've got breaking news on MSNBC.
Everything they said, everything was wrong.
That's a lie.
Everything.
That's a lie.
I mean, and they're doing it again. They're doing it all over.
No, this has nothing to do with fucking Russia. There is no part of this that's even a question. There is a paper trail, fucko. He took the shit. This is not the media speculating on whether or not he's going to get busted for the Alpha Bank connections or the Deutsche Bank loans or Russian oligarchs feeding him money or Maria Butina fucking the dude from Overstock who somehow ends up in the White House during the days after Trump loses the election and is hanging around with fucking Mike Pillow and Sidney Powell. This isn't even that. This is a fresh wound Trump inflicted on himself.
They have no memory. They never learn. What is it? What is it about these vain, silly people?
Well, I finally feel seen. Thanks, Greg.
I don't know exactly.
I know. I wasn't expecting, just didn't think.
But they're telling us, these vain, silly people, that the
Hi.
most trusted organization is the FBI. How do you feel about that?
I'm fine. It's pretty darn trusted. Yeah.
Here's proof that they are not to be trusted. I'm sorry. I'm disappointed to say this, but the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the D.C. office, still has this silly tweet. The FBI is still seeking information regarding people who committed violence at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. Now, and by the way, these are the folks, some of the folks they're looking for.
Right.
Now, if they were serious.
Hold on. Let's see. FBI Twitter. Wait, give me a second. All right. This is this is today, 3 hours ago. Kissimmee man sentenced to 40 years for sexually exploiting a child. That is the first tweet. There is no pinned tweet on here currently. As heartbreaking as it is, the work of these investigations, Special Agent in Charge David Walker, Mercer, PA man indicted for threatening the FBI. That's the DOJ. Kodiak man was sentenced to 18 years in federal prison for sextortion and child sexual exploitation crimes. That was 5 hours ago. Federal arrest of El Paso man for an assault on a federal officer. The men and women of the U.S. Border Patrol work tirelessly to keep our border safe. So that's this is what is Greg Kelly telling you? The FBI is not to be trusted. He is. August 17th, pinned tweet. This is what he's showing you. This and it's highlighted. He did the highlighting. He said this is. Did he say this is still up? The assumption being that it is still a pinned tweet.
Still seeking it. Federal Bureau of Investigation trusted. I'm sorry.
Okay, so this is, what are we to assume from what we're seeing right now? Anybody?
I'm disappointed to say this, but the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the D.C. office, still has this silly tweet. The FBI is still seeking information regarding people who committed violence at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. Now, and by the way, these are the folks, some of the folks they're looking for. Now, if they were serious,
they would just go and talk to Marjorie Taylor Greene and see if she still got this pair of shoes.
If they were a trustworthy law enforcement agency, they would have told their political masters by now that you're overreacting to January 6th.
Oh, yeah? Is that what they would have said?
We've done everything we can do here, all right? No, they're not giving them a clear, objective, professional view of what happened on January 6th. They're keeping it going for their political masters.
Okay, so they are keeping it going for their political masters because the FBI, according to Greg Kelly, this very day has a pinned tweet from August 17th. That would be today. So I don't know quite why you would pin it, but there we go. Maybe it's because he's using it from last year and therefore is using the August 17th pin tweet from last year, which was still just a few months after this had happened. So there's this one. Let's see how far down we have to go. How's the FBI work a case? Starts with world-class training. Learn more at go.usa.gov. Private sector is the first line of defense in the cyber fight. FBI arms are private sector partners. Texas man charged with using a drone to deliver contraband to prison. During the FBI Boston, during the meeting, Director Wray praised the close working relationship with the FBI and Maine's law enforcement opportunity and affirmed the FBI's commitment to help combat violent crime, homegrown violent extremism, and opioid-related crimes, among other threats. In today's dynamic threat environment, we either win or lose as a team. These are conversations with them. FBI Boston, he spent the day with FBI Boston's Portland, Maine office, meeting with staff and our law enforcement partners. There you go. When the FBI released its 2021 crime in the United States data, it looked different from the previous releases, that it will only contain state and federal data reported by law enforcement to the Bureau. Instead of private organizations would sometimes put forward stuff and they would work it in, and it gave a bad picture of it, an ineffective picture. So crime estimation has been used. Crime in the United States. Okay, how crime will look different this year. Who's this? FBI remembers Special Agent Nelson B. Klein, who was fatally shot on this date in 1935 while pursuing a suspect who was wanted in connection with car theft and interstate transportation of stolen vehicles. This fellow was shot and killed on August 16th, 1935. Las Cruces man charged for threatening to burn New Mexico State University. Long Island chiropractor pleads guilty to $1 million healthcare fraud. White-collar crimes may not be violent, but they're also not victimless. Learn about how the havoc these offenses can wreak. Man arrested for making threats of violence against the FBI. Phoenix man sentenced to 25 years for sexual abuse of a child. Grimes man sentenced to 27 years in federal prison for child pornography offenses. Is Greg just trying to stop them from doing this shit? Operation Cross Country participants encounter both child victims of sex trafficking and adults who are being trafficked against their will. The effort aims to... So Greg's big problem is that because they were looking at January 6 people, and the videos I'm going to go with are from last year, because I don't see that particular tweet. Well, let's look. What was that? I know this is a little deep reads for this, but let me see. Hold on. Back up. The hashtag FBI is still seeking okay. Regarding people who committed. There's a lot of these, actually. Yeah. Here's how big of a fucking liar Greg Kelly is. May I? Point of order, Mr. Chairman. Here it is. The FBI is still seeking information regarding people who committed violence at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. Visit this to see photos, videos from current cases, and if you recognize someone, submit a tip, tips.fbi.gov. Got 1,852 retweets. Look at this right here. Look at this motherfucker. August 17th. August 17th, 2021. The top response is from 2021. Greg, you are a lying piece of shit, and you are fomenting violence by Jan 6 sycophants on using false information. There's just no other way to put it. Fuck you.
Violence at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. Now, and by the way, these are the folks, some of the folks they're looking for. Now, if they were
that, by the way, that's from the link that they have. A bunch of those people, guess what, fucko? They've already caught them. The dude with the Confederate flag, remember this guy? He and his dad were already charged. This is an old graphic. Fuck this dude.
Trustworthy law and
fuck you, dude. This is gross. Fuck you, Greg Kelly. You chintzy piece of shit. Like this. Oh, god damn it. Like he's kind of aggravatingly funny and stupid sometimes, but this is dangerous bullshit. Good Lord. How do people watch this shit? And again, do you think any of his followers, the only people that are seeing that Greg Kelly is lying to them, making this tweet look like a pin tweet from over a fucking year ago, look like it's fresh. The only reason he's doing that is I guess to make violence against FBI agents justifiable because they're still persecuting the poor January 6th assholes who built a fucking gallows, stomped one of their own to death, injured over 140 police officers, including one where they like chipped off pieces of his fucking spine.
They would have told their political masters by now that you're overreacting to January 6th. We've done everything we can do here, all right?
Yeah, I've done everything I can do here, Greg, you fucking asshole. This is from last year. You are lying about the current personnel and the heads of the FBI in such a way so as to make them the targets of violence.
Right? No, they're not giving them a clear, objective, professional view of what happened on January 6th. They're keeping it going for their political masters. So
what the fuck are you talking about?
Are they going to now blame us, those who have been questioning the FBI's ethics and professionalism, for some of the things that are happening in America? Oh, yeah.
Yes. Because this is not just a matter of questioning things. You just fabricated visual evidence that you used as a case against the professionalism of the FBI and tarnishing them as being violent, subversive swamp creatures going after Donald Trump, private citizen / greatest president ever. You did that. You manipulated these images so that your followers would think that the FBI still has this pinned tweet up. This is the singular focus of what they're doing, and none of the other work that they're doing is being done because all they give a shit about is going after Jan 6ers. And that, and you must link in your mind that idea, this picture, that tweet, and the search and seizure of documents kept at Mar-a-Lago by Donald Trump, and link those two together so therefore, if he calls you up to be violent again, it's justified. Yeah, that's exactly what you're fucking doing, you goon.
Yeah, they are. So, in Cincinnati, you may have heard that a man tried to attack an FBI field office. Now, this is a horrible thing.
Now, why? Because he was unsuccessful? Fuck you.
We have rules and laws against this. This should not have happened. Yet, this is...
Why do you lick your lips when you do that? Why? This should not have happened.
America, we're adults. We don't modulate our language in case there's a lunatic who's listening.
We're not asking you to modulate your language. You're fucking lying. You're a liar, Greg. You are fabricating visual evidence in an act of stochastic terrorism against FBI agents. You are part and parcel to the media noise fomenting this level of violence. I don't support it when my side does it. I'm sure is not going to fucking support it when you do it or let it slide.
Okay, we don't do it that way. You know, I could blame, or could I, Bernie Sanders for that guy who showed up at the ball field in Virginia and shot Steve Scalise? Could I blame Bernie Sanders for that?
No, because Bernie Sanders at no point was coming out and saying that the Republicans there were, I don't know, planting evidence on that guy or attacking him unnecessarily, that the Republicans themselves weren't like... I'm trying to think of language Bernie Sanders in particular used that was anywhere near even what like Cenk and Anna say.
I wouldn't. And I think that would be unfair. But the guy was motivated, had a far left agenda. So they're trying to...
No, but he didn't go there because he was told to. He wasn't like flying a Bernie fucking flag. He didn't go there in direct response to something that happened to Bernie.
Govern the way we speak. Don't let them
govern the way we speak.
Do that.
And the FBI was interested in him. They had done several inquiries into him, no specific credible threat, but they attempted to talk to him multiple times and were not able to.
Quick reminder that the FBI, you ever notice this? They always just missed the guy, or, oh, we're about to talk to him, but we got sidetracked with too many cases.
No, they aren't. Fucking hell. Look, first of all, there are dozens upon dozens upon dozens of terrorist acts and violent lone wolf shooters and people like that that are stopped every year by the FBI, either because they do get to them in time or because they got them on something else. And so, unfortunately, the FBI doesn't get to prove a negative based on that status. That thing never happened because they handled it before he got to that point. Anybody who does get through, most of the time, they were looking into these fucking people because they are paying attention. They don't have the right to just scoop people up who talk shit online, though. And again, if Greg is saying that the FBI should have the right to just scoop people up who talk shit online, fuck, man, he's basically saying lock him up about Trump.
This has been the story of the Bureau.
No, it hasn't.
Going back to the JFK assassination, you can look it up. Next.
There is no doubt that what happened at Mar-a-Lago this week, and really not the action itself of a search warrant being executed, but the way Trump framed it, the way Republican officials framed it, that was a trigger for him.
How does she know? How does she know that? Has she been through...
He was a Jan 6er, you dumbass. It's a trigger for you. Literally, if you want to know what that guy was thinking, but just add a frosting of murderous psychopathy on top of it, look at how Greg Kelly is reacting to the fucking search. It's exactly how he reacted. It was specific. It was timed because of it. He didn't do it 2 weeks later. He didn't do it a week before.
Talk to all of his relatives? What? Read his diary? How do you know that exactly? A trigger. What was triggering him last week? This guy's in...
Because his social media posts were up. Jesus Christ. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see. 42-year-old Ricky Schiffer. They saw his posts on Truth Social. Court official was not authorized to discuss the event. At least one of the social media messages appeared to have been posted after Schiffer tried to breach the FBI office. He did it and then he escaped, and he posted on Truth Social in between the act and when he was killed. If you don't hear from me, it is true I tried to attack the FBI. Ricky W. Schiffer Jr. posted a call to arms and urged people to arm themselves and be ready for combat after the search. He had ties to the Proud Boys. He was armed with a nail gun and an AR-15 style rifle when he tried to breach the visitor screening area at the FBI office. He was later spotted by a state trooper along Interstate 71, got into a gun battle that ended in his death. A burst of violence unfolded. Blah, blah. Schiffer is believed to have been in Washington in the days leading up to January 6th. He made a January 5th post as well on Truth Social. Let's see. I'm going to see if we actually have his posts. Control V. Let's see. It is true. Let's see. Trying to find the ones. Okay, here you go. Schiffer's Truth Social account, which had 23 followers, showed him not just voicing anger, but also calling for direct action to bring on armed conflict, urging Trump supporters, followers to stock up on bullets and, quote, have your heart, mind, and body ready to jump into civil war. On August 5th, he posted, this country has never had a worse enemy. 1776 was for far less. Even World War II was for far less. There we go. That day, he also wrote, save the ammunition and be ready and willing to hit the road as soon as you hear it has started. Someone who wanted to be a hero could not have lived in a better time. The post was liked 24 times. Apparently, all of his followers plus Trump. Schiffer's post appeared to regard the Mar-a-Lago search as a triggering event. He posted, people, this is it. This is your call to arms for me. Leave work tomorrow. As soon as the gun shop opens, get whatever you need to be ready for combat. We must not tolerate this once. August 9th, he posted, Patriots are heading to Palm Beach. That if the feds try to break it up, kill them. Damn straight insurrection against the people who usurped our government, he wrote in a separate post that day. I hope to see you there. I won't be unarmed this time. His second most recent public post was a meme image showing Trump in the White House. Retruth if you want President Trump back in office. His last post on August 11th, the day police said he tried to breach the FBI, said, well, I thought I had a way through bulletproof glass, and I didn't. If you don't hear from me, it is true I tried to attack the FBI, and it'll mean I was either taken off the internet, the FBI got me, or they sent the regular cops while, and then that was it. He didn't finish the thought. All of the posts were visible Thursday night, and there's no indication Truth Social ever sought to remove them before vanishing. Schiffer's profile said he was a construction electrician in Columbus, Ohio. The video site Rumble and other sites blocked or deleted his previous accounts. In his biography, he wrote, "I'm ready to handle this like an American." The FBI said Thursday that Schiffer had tried to break into the field office visitor screening area before fleeing onto an interstate. He stopped, raised a gun at police officers before they shot and killed him. Because that's how it happens. Meanwhile, this fuckhead is like, how do you know what he was saying? He fucking posted while he was doing it.
Insane, all right? Next.
Sorry, say again.
Talk to all of his relatives? What? Read his diary? How do you know that exactly? A trigger. What was triggering him last week? This guy's insane.
Yeah, I don't know what was triggering him if he's insane that brought him to the Capitol on January fucking 6th.
All right. Next.
We're in the middle of an 8-year uptick of domestic terrorism activity. It is really stunning to me that in the midst of that environment, we have Republican officials that seem to have not learned the lessons from the last 6 years, that their rhetoric can incite violence.
I'm trying so hard not to. Don't say the violent thing, Greg. Just don't do it.
Look it up. Look what she was saying. Look at what her friends were saying. The mainstream media, Democrats, about Black Lives Matter summer for years now, actually. Did they condemn this?
Yes.
No. Their rhetoric.
Yeah. No one cared about violent rhetoric during BLM summer. This is from September 4th, 2020. Tens of thousands of social media users are posting memes that claim that Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden has been silent for over 3 months on the issue of rioting and violence and has only just denounced them because of a dip in the polls. This claim is false. Biden has denounced riots since protests after the death just over 3 months ago of George Floyd, an unarmed black man who was killed after a white police officer knelt on his neck. The posts, which are here, and here, shared by over 30,000 times. Here they are. Let's see. What's that one? Oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry. These are that dude's Facebook things. Posts here. Oh, those are their posts. I see. This isn't. These are not Biden's posts. Turns out Americans don't like violence in their streets. So after 3 months of silence and slipping polls, I'm now against rioting. That's what they're saying. Here you go. Jason Miller. Joe Biden has sat idly by for months, refusing to condemn violence and chaos from his rallies. Here it is. This is from May 30th, 2020. We are a nation in pain, but we must not allow this pain to destroy us. We are a nation in rage, but we cannot allow our rage to consume us. Please stay safe. Please take care of each other. Okay, which is apparently that was enough of a statement for Trump on January 6th when his own people had attacked the Capitol. We love you. You're very special. This day was wonderful. Go home. At a speech in Philadelphia, Biden said there's no place for violence, no place for looting or destroying property or burning churches or destroying businesses. We need to distinguish between legitimate peaceful protest and opportunistic violent destruction. On July 28th, Biden also condemned violent protests at a speech in Wilmington, Delaware, as seen here at the 8-minute, 24-second mark. The verdict, false. Before he spoke out against violence in Portland at the end of August, Biden had condemned violent protests soon after the death of George Floyd on May 25th and in subsequent speeches. But no one cared about violent rhetoric during BLM summer.
Glorified it.
They glorified it. Yeah. I mean, I remember when Biden came out and was just singing Burning Down the House, kind of like Bomb Bomb Iran. It was his own version of that.
Sanctified it. This was a righteous cause. And if you weren't with them, you were against them. Remember that? Where were they?
No.
Hey, where was their support for law enforcement then?
The president was saying it multiple times in speeches.
Thing is also, that was a big lie. That somehow people of color, the existential threat they face is from police. That's not true. And
yes, the existential threat they face is from Greg personally.
No statistics to back it up whatsoever. But this warrant?
Donald Trump is the true victim here. This is the man coming down on the orange people.
This is real.
Yes, it is. It's very real.
They failed us before.
And
they're going after Trump again. Are we to believe them now? I don't think so.
That's the end of it. Are we supposed to believe them? I don't think so. Someone has to protect him, even if only from himself. This is not surprising coming from Greg Kelly or any of the people at Newsmax. They don't give a shit about stoking violence because to them it's I don't know how seriously they take it, quite frankly. But I do think that they look at Trump as the victim, and so anybody, that's willing to defend Trump can do anything they want. Anybody who's against him is, he's projecting about if you're not with him, you're against him stuff from that summer. It's just silly. And again, Biden talked about this many times. You're never going to hear Greg Kelly go, look, I know Biden did, but other candidates in the Democratic Party, they were talking this stuff, and did people really push back? Yes, they did. Myself included. I love Maxine Waters, but I thought the way she spoke about getting in people's faces was not helpful, easily negatively construed, and counterproductive. It's why I don't talk that way. We have so many other tools. It's not necessary. And in some cases, it plays into exactly what they want.